Hey guys, welcome to session 48, two, technically as close to as we get to our 1 year anniversary.
Hooray.
So let's go. Let's do this another year.
Uh,
So I mean, I like it. I think you guys like it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have such a freaking high attendance rate and everything. Well, we're gonna begin tonight with just the level 7 rundown, just to get everyone familiar with what they can do and share amongst the group. There's not It's not such a drastic level up for the most part. Some people do get some cool things. But yeah, we'll go ahead and start with, we'll go in alphabetical order of character names. So Allegretto.
Yo. So for level 7, I'm pretty straightforward. I get my first level 4 spell slot. So I'm picking up one of those. I gotta go for polymorph.
nice.
Super powerful.
Classic.
Adam taught me earlier how to look up beasts quickly because I was like, do I have to read the entire monster manual to figure out the level?
So I have a
No.
question for the DM. Because I believe with like polymorph and those, it has to be like a beast you know or something, right?
No. Well, so it's with
Or you're
wild shape,
familiar.
you need to know the form. Yeah, so like if you're even just familiar with an image of one or can imagine one, you essentially can.
Okay.
Like, they don't describe what familiarity means. Familiarity means you've seen it, heard it, kind of know about it.
Okay. I was just curious how loosey-goosey you'd be.
I'll be pretty loosey-goosey on this. And one clarification, because I do want, and Al and I went over this, but it has to be a beast.
Right.
And it's the target's level that determines the CR. So since all of you guys will be eventually level 7, the maximum he can shift you is into a CR7 beast. It's not based off Al's level, it's based off your level. So anyways, go ahead, Al.
Mm-hmm. And the one other thing I did is I swapped out a lower level spell. Haven't used Fairy Fire in like 40 episodes, so I went ahead and dropped that and picked up Tiny Hut instead.
Nice.
So we're gonna get some nice lodging in the swamp.
Cool. And then last week, Al rolled a 5. So his hit points went up by a total of 7.
Oh yeah, I'm getting
Yeah.
better. Slowly getting back to where I was.
Yep. All right. I believe that's it for you, Al, right?
Easy peasy.
Yep. All right. Let's go to Calasor.
So I get a 4th level spell slot as well. I have not decided what I will be taking yet with that because I haven't really looked through the spells. And then I am also able to transform into CR2 beasts. I rolled a 6 for my HP, so I will gain 9. And I think that's it for me.
Yep. The big thing is, since he's a moon druid, based off the table that we use for shapeshifting, he is actually off the standard druid table. He would only be able to still do CR1s, but his thing bumps him up for wild shape purposes is 2 levels higher. So he's considered a 9th level shapeshifter. So yeah, CR2. So we're gonna see some constrictor snakes, some allosaurs, some things like that.
Cool.
All right, Mr. Davis.
Level 7, I get command styles. For the most part, these won't affect you guys. It's mostly affects me, but I'll let you know if it does affect you. But they're essentially little flavors on certain aspects of the Warlord features that I can do, and I can swap them out every day or after a respite. So I think I'm gonna start with Grudge Keeper, Adam, just to try that one out.
Okay, so
I guess I can paste it just so people know.
Yeah, if you don't
so
mind.
you get an idea of what they look like.
Yep. So they normally change like 2 aspects of a warlord feature, essentially, and there's a list of them, and he can swap them out as he sees fit,
Oven's ready.
as he said. Yeah, I just gotta go. And I don't remember what you rolled for HP,
I rolled
but
max
I know.
10. I rolled 10, so I'll
Yeah,
get
you
12
rolled
more
max,
HP total.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. Yeah, that's the warlord. I mean, most of his other features. I mean, 7 is big for a warlord just because you get access to your command styles.
Yeah, and there's like 12 of them, I think, maybe more.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah. Essentially, look at them. If you're kind of familiar with old terms, they're kind of like meta magics, sort of. Like if you kind of want to compare them to something, because they tweak features. All right, Mr. Grant Frostmason.
I get 1 4th level spell slot like the other casters. I'm gonna get to have Stone Skin and Freedom of Movement as my always ready spells because I'm a war priest, and I will likely be carrying Banishment most of the time.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I get.
Banishment's concentration, right?
It is a concentration.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm likely to either cast Banishment if it's like a single target that I need to control, or I might upcast Spirit Guardians because it's an extra 1d8 and I get the extra 1d8 for that
Every
full
turn.
100-turn duration.
Yeah, it's a super good upcast spell.
Yeah. Other one is out of combat. I get Locate Creature, which is nice, and Stone Shape. So in case we that would be useful to get into a stone tower, but not doing that.
Imagine that.
I mean, there's so many options, and like the nice thing about clerics and druids, you guys are prepared casters, so you guys can just always swap out your spells in advance.
I'll make this pebble flatter so I can skip it better. That will be my 4th level spell slot for the day.
Nice.
Did you just say you're gonna make Pebble flat?
I was wondering.
Yes, I'm gonna
Not
turn
okay
her
with that.
into a flat disc that I can throw into the water, or throw along the water.
Oof.
Nope.
Ooh,
Nice.
I can transform her into a fidget spinner and just have her spin with my fingers.
Oh, poor Pebble. All right. Thank you, Angie, for the rundown. Let's go to Marb. Bakal?
Call. Mine is pretty straightforward. I get my defense tactic as part of my ranger class, so I'm gonna go with multi-attack defense.
All right.
So when one attack hits or misses me, the next attacks until the beginning of the next turn are made at disadvantage. And spell-wise, I think I'm only getting 1 extra level 2 spell slot, and I'm still deciding how I'm gonna shuffle my spells. But that's pretty much it.
All right, cool. Yeah. As it goes, Marb, since you are playing a homebrewed version of the Hunter, if you don't like multi-attack, we can always allow you to swap out and test the other ones, since all these are reworks of the originals. But I will say, Danny called the one that you were getting.
Yeah, 'cause it's super good.
Yeah,
I know, yeah.
it's just super good. I literally tried to make the other two that much better, but it's hard. Multi-attack is just good.
The best.
Cool. So yeah, Marb, even though you might not have much constitution, you're not necessarily going to be that easy to hit anymore.
Hopefully.
And unfortunately, Marb and the group will Marb, you'll definitely feel this upon leveling up. In case I forget to say it, that -7 penalty that you have to your HP from the bile and stuff, it's still sticking. So keep that in mind. All right. Normally it would be last but not least Rock, but now that we have another individual, we'll go with Rock, and then we'll swing over to Yarcy.
Would just like to go on record to say that if you're going to make any birds flat, we've got Marb,
Hey.
and if you flip Marb, he can bounce and feel like he's flying, which is the only way he's ever going to feel like he's flying. So win-win.
Win-win.
Sorry, Marb, love you.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Yeah, major shots.
So like everyone else, got a level 4 spell. Unlike everyone else, didn't get a level 4 actual spell. Got a spell slot, not a spell. I took Misty Step.
Okay.
The last fight almost died. Figured need a way to get away. And because it's I put it off long enough, I got the big kaboom. Ye old fireball.
Goodness gracious.
So,
Glorious.
Be prepared to get accidentally damaged by me not knowing the radius of it very well. I hope you all have fire immunity.
I nominate to be the target.
Actually, yeah, Al does.
Oh yeah, I can throw.
Yeah, practice without. Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's like Al and then I guess you, because of your Thermal Rider cloak, are the two people that can bear the brunt of a fireball moderately okay.
Al, you're gonna get hit by a lot of fireballs.
As long as you do more damage to them than me, it's fine. It's a worthy cause.
Okay.
The other thing is you did get your what is it called? Not savant, your divination expert.
Expert divination, yeah.
Is that the
Yeah.
shaping of stuff?
So if I use a divination spell, I can get a spell slot back.
Of lower. So if he does
Of
a
a
second
lower
level,
level.
it's first level back. So he can start cycling. And he figured out a pretty cool combination that's extremely expensive that you guys might get to see in the future, like 50 more sessions, but it'll be awesome.
Expensive
Yeah,
as in like
a
cost
pre-battle
of
combo.
materials.
Material combo.
Oh, I see.
It'll
Like
buff everybody, but I don't have either of the spells to make it work right now.
Yeah, but we were discussing how it works, and he's like, "Oh shit, I figured something out." All right.
Can he
All right.
right off the bat go from 4, 3, 2, 1, or is it linked to his cleric level in any way?
No, this is his wizard, so
It is
it
wizard.
doesn't matter. It's a spell slot. So if he casts, even if he I have to see the intent, or read it. But the way that let me just read it real quick. So, beginning access level, casting divination spells comes so easily to you that you expend only a fraction or a fractor of your spellcasting effort. When you cast a divination spell of second level or higher using a spell slot, you regain one expended spell slot. The spell slot regained must be of a level lower than the spell you cast and cannot be higher than 5th level. So by reading that, I don't think he can upcast, let's say, a second level divination spell to like 4th level and then get a 3rd level back, because it's the spell level, not the casting level.
Especially since
I'd
he
have
doesn't
to.
have 4th levels.
Well, I'm saying like in the future. Sorry, like it's just. I think it's of the spell. So if it's written as a 2nd level spell, he can get a 1st level spell back. If it's written as a 4th level spell, he can get a 3rd level spell back.
Is it the highest
That's
level
pretty
you
neat.
can recover is a 5th level slot?
Yeah, eventually, yes. Yeah, so he can't like all of a sudden start cycling like 9 to 8 to 10 to or 9 to 8 to 7 to 6 to 5. Yeah. So,
I see everything.
yeah. All right, and then I believe that's it for Rock. Pretty simple as it is for most 7th level casters. It's just, hey, hi, we get 4th level spell slots now. All right, and then I guess the last but not least is the your newest acquaintance, Yarcy.
Yes, yes. I got a few hit points. I lucked out and rolled a max on that, so that was good. I also got another invocation. I took Grasp of Hagar, which allows me, when I hit them with an Eldritch Bolt, I can pull them 10 feet closer to me. So I'm praying Adam put some people on top of towers so I can drop them off tower walls. And then I also got access to 4th level spell slots, which I took Summon Greater Demon.
Oh, right, and that's a reminder to me. I gotta go make a token here in a little bit, but that'll happen while you guys are role playing. So because you guys haven't played with a warlock, especially a materia warlock, next to monks, warlocks are pretty much considered at the bottom end of the stick when it comes to being a full class. Like warlocks are very popular for a multi-class dip, most likely like Hexblade and stuff like that. For all you spellcasters, you guys need to sleep to get your spell slots back or do a long rest, let's say more correctly. Warlocks, they get their spell slots back on a short rest, but they have a very small number of spell slots. So Yarcy only has 2 spell slots, and they're always 4th level, and he always casts his spells at the maximum level. So it's kind of a weird thing, and that's why it's called pack magic. Just kind of helping him go through it. Yarcy did take what? You took Pact of the Undying as your patron.
Yes, Pack of the Undying as my patron, Shepherd of Fate as my god.
Yeah. He did as his like warlocks, they do get to pick like a boon. So it's either like a blade, a familiar, or technically called chain, or of the tome. He took the tome. So he's got a lot of extra cantrips, and then he did take one of the invocations that now makes him a ritual caster. So he has a lot of spells at his disposal. which is going to be interesting to see how he can weave them in. Other than that, your guys aren't going to see anything too crazy. Materia, they each packed kind of scales with level. So at 5th level, he would have gotten ostensible knowledge. So he can use his charisma instead of his intelligence for making intelligence checks if he's proficient in them. Nothing too crazy. And then his Undying Patron, kind of how like bards work, or the Valor Bard works. They get the list expanded and they can pick those spells, but they still have to count as the spells that he knows. His 1st level feature, it's called Among the Dead, Undying Patron. So he gets another cantrip, Spare the Dying, the one that stabilizes you if you're down. He also has advantages against diseases. So in Materia, it's got expanded to make it a little bit better. Normally, it works only against undead, the 2nd feature, which is any undead that tries to attack him, they have to do a wisdom saving throw to pick him as their target. Otherwise, they got to pick someone else, potentially losing their action.
Yeah, or forfeit.
In Materia, because, why not? It's expanded to if he deals damage to someone with a Pact Magic spell slot or with a Mystic Arcana. Don't worry about these terms. He knows them. But whenever he does big spells, that also applies. And then going on the thing with, Defying Death, since he's an undead warlock, or Undying warlock, he has actually some utility if he stabilizes you. So if you fall down and he stabilizes you with Spare the Dying, you actually get to heal once per long rest, per creature, not by him, but by you guys. So he can kind of bring you guys up. And the little tweak here as well is he benefits from temporary hit points a little bit more than everyone else. So if a source gives him 10 temporary hit points, he can add up to his warlock level to that, and it cannot exceed more than double. So you give him 10 temporary points, he's level 7, he can actually he gains 17 temporary hit points. And other than that, you guys will learn, see what Yarsi can do, but I told him I would help with the rundown.
Guess I should have taken Tip the Scales then, huh, Adam?
I mean, it wouldn't be that big, right? It can't exceed double.
That's
so what's
true.
your Tip the Scales?
Well, I guess half, so it'd be, is it half rounded down, I assume? So it would be 3.
Yeah. 3, so for him it'd be 6.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, guys, that's the rundown. If you guys have any questions or concerns, we can discuss those real quick. We don't necessarily have to have them on the recording unless if you guys want to. If we're good, we'll stop it here. We'll take like 2 minutes to set up, and then we'll get rolling into the story. And I gotta make a frickin' token for James. I forgot.
I'm good.
Okay.